It is a windy June night here on the banks of the Alum Creek. um, that runs throughout Ohio here. Uh, let's see if it'll adjust here. And the camera will not. Hey, it's a hey. All right, so it's dusk and night is falling, and I'm on the banks here of the Alum Creek, and I can't help but be reminded here as I come upon this cover you sort of tent here that looks so commercial. I can't help but think of 4 years ago and the commercialization I went through then. Yeah, it's Cover You, and it's on the banks here, and there's a lot of trash around here. I don't know how long it's been here. I ain't gonna take a guess, and I really don't care because it's not my squat. It's not my home. It's not like Hempfield Road in outside of Houston, where men would kind of look after men and kind of prepare for the next man that might come through. This is more of a joke. There's no I had to saw my way through riptides here, but it's and I don't know how long it's been closed and stuff, but it's here on the banks, and it's looks like they were baking some cakes, or it's just foolish, and it's silly, and it just reminds me of the last time I was here in Columbus, in the silliness of housing and the childishness of housing. I had a squat down on Main Street in an abandoned, vacant house that was, along Main Street. The city owned it, and it had been broken into, and the guys had broken into it, and it was and one cold winter night, tired of the quote-unquote men's shelter that the neighborhood boys would, occupy and, make difficult for a homeless man who didn't live in Columbus or to find a place to sleep. So I took refuge in this abandoned house, and I squatted there for quite a few weeks, on Main Street, next to the church, across from the auto body repair shop, and had no problems. until, there came a time, and I couldn't tell you the time. All I was concerned about was keeping warm, keeping away from people. And, I thought the second floor of this abandoned house, on Main Street, you know, was good enough. But it wasn't. Um, First, cops came and they warned me, stay out. And then um, I was robbed there. I didn't stay out, I was robbed by one of the local neighbors, these lovely children in the neighborhood here. In Columbus or Bexley. And, the thing about him is that, it's like he took my backpack as I was looking out the window, um, into the street. And it was like, I didn't notice him. It was like, he could have simply took the backpack and left, and it would have been, it was, oh, what happened to my backpack? But what's interesting is this boy, this young man, made it a point to tap me on the shoulder, and say, hey, I'm robbing you. And I remember him, I turned around and, he was at the door with his buddy, and he gave me this, like, well, what do you think? And it's like, and all I could think of is like, well, what do you want me to think? What do you want me to do? You and your buddy, like what? You want me to fight you? You want me to, like, yell and scream and kick? I mean, it's like, hey, it's me against your mothers. What do you want me to do, boy? And, he gave me a look, and I gave him a look like, what do you want me to do? I mean, if me being a homeless man and trying here in the middle of nowhere to escape your community and your street, if this is not enough, you take it, boy. I mean, if you need, like, dirty clothes and you take it, because, hey, it's more important to you. So anyways, it's like, so I was robbed that night, and it's like, hey, like, what do you want, man? And the irony with that, boy, is that, a, like 2 or 3 weeks later, after I regained, like, all the cards and stuff, and the clothes and stuff, and bought a new backpack and stuff. It's like, I met that boy. I mean, he made a point. He made, like, a deliberate point of meeting me, of running into me at the Commons in downtown, And, he's like, hey, I mean, he didn't say it, but it was like, hey, look at me. And I was like, I did look at him. And he looked at me. And it's like, well, it's your turn now, old man. You drunkard, whatever. And I didn't say anything. I just went by him. And I never saw him again. But yeah, I mean, it certainly set the tone here in America for what I was to encounter with the stars and the brilliant men that, because they live under mommy's house and, nice and safe and secure, they can do whatever they want to homeless guys who try their best to escape them and get away from them and leave them.